Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just before the President's Day recess, I stood on this floor and talked about our national security risk that we're running with our energy insecurity. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the economic opportunity that's present in moving from energy insecurity to energy security. You know, I'm on the Science Committee, and at the Science Committee, we get to see a lot of interesting new technology. The question of the hour really is how to get that technology to the market, how to do for energy what Microsoft and Apple did for the PC and the Internet. How do we get from here, from ideas to jobs? Well, I happen to think that this is a place where folks on my side of the aisle, Republicans, can be particularly helpful. Because what we realize is some market distortions and the impact of those market distortions on bringing products to market. So the market distortion I'm particularly interested in talking about tonight comes from the fact that certain negative costs associated with the incumbent technologies, especially petroleum, aren't attached to that product. As a result, we drive around in our cars unaware of the extra costs that are really associated, properly associated with a gallon of gas. So, for example, it's a huge national security risk associated with buying gasoline. Gasoline right now in my district is costing about $1.70 a gallon, but that doesn't factor in the cost of operations in places like Iraq. It doesn't factor in the risk of future operations in the Middle East. And of course, it also doesn't factor in the environmental consequences of that $1.70's worth of gasoline. So what would happen if you, what economists call, internalize the externals? What if you attached to the price of that gallon of gasoline those externalities, those costs that are currently unrecognized? Well, that's really the key to moving technology from the lab into the showroom. Because right now it's there in the lab, we know a lot of things will work, but it doesn't really compete with the incumbent technology. Because the incumbent technology, gasoline in this case, talking about transportation fuels, gets a big freebie or two. It gets us subsidizing their business in the form of national security expenditures, and it gets us winking and disregarding the environmental consequences associated with that gallon of gasoline. If those externalities were internalized to that price of gasoline, of course the price of gas would rise. But the other technologies that are out there that are ready to take out that incumbent technology and reduce our national security risk and to create these new jobs would become viable. And of course, in this economic downturn, we're looking for all the ideas we can find about how to re-employ Americans, how to get our economy going. And what I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, is that we see a tremendous opportunity in energy. Our insecurity in energy can become energy security when we internalize the externals associated with the incumbent technologies and make it so the market doesn't have this distortion any longer. This is a strength that I think that people that understand markets can deliver to this process. I hope that the Obama administration is going to listen to those ideas, because together we can solve this problem and we can reach an American solution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Ms. Captor from Ohio.